After a satisfying stay in this village, today I wanted to have some adventure. The previous night I spent with Roshan, and we fixed that it's the time for us to explore the mountain and climb the feet rock. And he said he would set up a team. The best part of my travel was a mixture of adventure, fun, and social service. It was happy to see a clean village after an effort by the whole team. The team was ready, and almost every one of them were part of our cleaning program. For the first part of our adventure was crossing the river with water level approximately up to the chest level. Once you cross this, the next step is walking around 300-400 meters, and the rock was quite clearly visible. Soon after crossing the river, we started moving up. It took around 15 to 20 minutes of walking up the hill. Each step would give a different picture of the same place where you came from. Within a short span of time, the influence of rocks was seen in the same jungle. I was super excited to reach and see how good is this rock. It was quite steep. If I had not met Roshan on the road, I would never have known about this village as well as this beautiful adventure point. We took our first break after hiking about half an hour. The next point was to remove our footwears because the rocks were kind of slippery. It was hard to get proper grip with the slipper. This is the real wide level climbing without any climbing shoe or any rope. It's a pure form of free climbing. The modern versions of all the climbing came after this. And for those who live quite close to the jungle, climbing a rock is not a big deal. As far as I was concerned, it was thrilling for me. I was enjoying every second of the moment I spent on this part of the world. There was only 20% charge in my mobile phone, and I was not sure if I could shoot my efforts to climb this steep rock. This was purely vertical, and a single little mistake is sufficient to make you in the news headlines. I was enjoying every moment. It was real fun. And I always dreamt to try some extreme level adventure, and the moment I spent on the rock, that was something beyond explanation. Roshan always made sure that I was safe and secure. There's no particular climbing route to follow, but we were taking turns. Each time one of us would lead and search for a route. We had our second break. The whole village looked quite tiny for us, and a quite relaxing feeling when you do something great. Now we have to go.
Wow. Superb.
Now it's time for us to go beyond this rock level where you have to find a different route. And you can just see how interesting this rock is to climb. At some point, it was one of us leading from front. Then we took turns. As I had to shoot, sometimes I was always behind, and when I was taking my efforts, it was them behind me. Each of them were so caring and supportive. They even tried to make sure that I'm not slipping any time by keeping their hands under my feet, but I was enjoying it without having any support. It was just a wild experimentation of our own abilities. If any one of you are familiar with the concept of rock climbing, you can see how steep we are, and this is the part that we have covered so far. Just holding the grip of a rock and taking rest over here. This was our break number 3. All my heroes, they are the real heroes. For them, this is not a big deal. They said me that not many have climbed this rock and reached the peak. But for them, this was just a piece of cake. You can see Baldev going all the way up. Now it's his time to collect all the footwears. Then the rest of us would climb. And this was the procedure we followed for each of our levels of climbing. The river, the village, everything looked totally different. And this view is not possible for everyone. Fantastic days throughout my trip, and I must say that nothing was better than these efforts that I have enjoyed. This is one of the best exercises to work on your focus, and for higher levels of efforts you need higher focus as well. I always love my own smile when I achieve something, and I was able to have this several times today after covering each pitch of the rock. And that was phenomenal efforts and superb support from the team that I have along with me. At certain points, it was totally slippery. We just have to believe on ourselves in order to reach. This was our next break. Then we were just pushing forward as we covered the main rock part. Reaching the rest of the area was not at all a big deal. Rest is all just moving around, roaming in the areas and finding what we could do. We kept on moving. As Roshan said, there is another rock which is considered as extremely holy by their tribe. And the instruction was not to spit or pee in that area, as they consider it as quite holy for them. That was a hike of another 5 to 10 minutes. We relaxed a while and enjoyed the view of the village and the whole river, which nobody else have achieved.
मेरा नाम है सुकुमार मुंडा।
कितना उम्र है अभी?
मेरा 18।
18।
आई एम रोशन रिमिक्स। आज मेरा 18 होगा।
18। आप?
मेरा नाम जगन्नाथ मुंडा, उम्र है 23 साल।
23।
माय नेम इज बलदेव मुंडा।
आई एम
16
years old. बोलो दोबारा।
16 years old.
Okay.
I asked if I could come to the same village again and spend some time, and this was the reply I received.
आपके लिए स्वागत है।
Thank you.
When people started using the drones to see the view from the top, we took another efforts to see the same place. in
पूरे
a
गांव
better
के
way.
ऊपर बैठा है ना हम। बाबा जी हो गया। ओ कैमरा के लिए ये मुश्किल है सारा देखना, लेकिन जो हमने अपनी आंखों से देख रहे हैं वो है बेस्ट.
We started hiking and climbing towards the main rock that they mentioned, which is holy for them, which was further up as compared to the biggest rock that we climbed. This was the selfie of happiness with the whole team of 5. And that's the rock that they consider it's holy. And it's time for us to push forward until we reach there. We had our footwears on and we started moving further. We were making our own routes. There was no particular route that we had to follow. So, some wild guess. We had only that rock in our mind, and to our surprise, we had mushrooms on the way. Mushroom is one of the most common things in this rainy season, and you can see if you travel in this stretch of Jharkhand, on the roadsides people usually sell mushrooms that they get from the jungles. So for them, that was sufficient for a meal. The other day I saw a man fishing for their daily meal. Things are not yet commercialized here. They are still connected to their nature, accepting things from the nature and living comfortable life. Within a few minutes, we were able to reach the rock, which is extremely important as per their belief, and this is a holy place for them. That's why we removed our slippers and we entered that point. This is a place where you can see the whole village and also several kilometers surrounding this area. A view that only a few can enjoy. Only the daredevils can enjoy, rather to say. Risk yourself with better focus. You will have the best smile. Every one of us were totally happy. For them, it was their second or third attempt to reach there, and this is the village where I lived. We had nothing to measure the height that we are. Serendipity is the word that I love the most when I travel. And that's me and Roshan sharing our happiness. And he is my hero who took me all the way from that highway to where I am standing now. This time, this team, in fact, we have made a wonderful relationship one another. What else is required for a traveler? Seeing a world from a different perspective and feeling on the top of the world. If you look at the rock that we climbed from a different angle, it looks like this. And I was told that exactly under the rock there were honey hives. Now it's time for us to find a solution how to reach back. And there is no way that we go for a down climbing. Instead, we need to find a way that through our wild guess again, we decided it's better to find a new route. And Roshan told me that there is an option for us from the other side by going through the jungle. But the only challenge would be swimming through the extremely flowing water. Oh, I said okay for that. I love swimming as well. We carried no water bottles. We didn't even have anything to eat. But the sense of satisfaction was sufficient to fill our mind as well as body. So we started moving down through a different track. In fact, there was no route we were finding ourselves. Baldev found some medicinal plants. They said the villagers use it as the best medicine against intoxications and poison. They dry these leaves, then they use them through boiled water. This was a whole procedure or process of knowledge, confidence boosting exercise, and thrill for me. For them, it was just another day of their routine. I was thinking how I could help them in one way or the other. After walking down for a while, we reached quite close to the river, and I was looking at the rock from where we came down now. It's time for us for the next level of adventure. And Roshan told me that the only way to reach the other side is to swim across. I had only 3% of battery in my phone, and we have to remove all the clothes, cover it, wrap it up. Now it's their time to show their skill, how they are going to carry everything. We were searching for a place where we can start the swim. Like the same rock climbing methods, we started taking turns. I wanted to observe the methods followed by them. Then it was my time to swim as well. The place looked totally different now. Baldev and Roshan said they would go first by carrying our things, and you can see that against the flowing river they are swimming with only one hand. For me, it was okay to swim with both hands as they were ready to carry my phone. The problem was that my phone is going to finish in 1 minute its battery, so we'll not be able to shoot further and for the rest of the days as well, until I come to a place where I can charge. You can see the efforts taken by them is something
We are waiting
phenomenal.
for our turn.
Without them, nothing would have been possible.
After a while, we reached comfortably to the village back, and the whole village was surprised that I was able to do it. Even I had a sense of satisfaction. Hope to see you soon.